full 1080p. What's happening, YouTube? You are back for the Friday night version. Black Avengers of Current Culture and Life Gains. It's me, Lamont
Those life
Tyson.
gains.
It's my big homie, the living legend, Larry, rocking that nice Life Gains hoodie, which you can get from shoplifegains.com. That's my website. My brother Larry, how you feeling?
Man, I'm getting those life gains, man. My options contract closed today and made me a little bit of money. Getting my life gains on.
You should have been listening to your boy. Should have been listening to your boy. You know what I'm saying? I've been showing you and others the reports that I keep detailed documents of for the last 3 months. I've been showing it to y'all. And I'm telling you, man, once you get into that, you don't want to do nothing else. You make enough money with that, pull a little bit out so that you can live off of, and the rest you just throw it back into the market and keep compounding till you finally get to that stop that you can basically live off of, going calls and puts, vice versa. Either way you want to do it. So let me shout out everybody that's in the building looking at me and the living legend, Mike Willie, Teresa, Spill the Tea TV in the building, Support Gaming, 351 Cleveland, Arlene Hicks. I'm glad you're here because we are going to do one of the numbers that you can pick tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is I walk you through how to do a put option on a stock that can pay you cash up front. Like Larry just said, I walked him through one. His went through. He gets all his collateral back tonight at midnight. And I know he's going to be on the phone with me next Tuesday, blazing another one. And I'm about to get him to do a swing trade too, ladies and gentlemen. This man going to be rich.
I hope so.
When we make predictions on this channel, they happen. And I predicted next year we both going to make 6 figures in the stock market. I might be pushing 7. And we've made other bold predictions that have come true. And Larry, without further ado, let me go ahead and get some numbers picked. You've got
wait, I had to stop you before you go because I felt bad that you went down the list and named all those people and we kind of skipped over Mnuchin.
I didn't see Mooch. Where's Mooch?
Yeah, we can't skip Mooch.
Where's the Mooch? What? No,
Mooch is right below Tressa C.
Oh no, I'm skipping the Mooch in my doghouse, and she know why she in the doghouse.
Mooch, you hear that? You know what he wants. You know what he's asking for. He's asking for those locks and keys. That's what he's saying. He's saying throw some locks and keys in the comments section. That's what he wants. That's what he wants.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, man. Y'all don't pay Larry no attention. He just likes to say that stuff to divert attention from Ramona Big Forehead. But having said that, Muchella, you know we love you. Buzz in the building. Alex in the building. Chris P in the building. And before we even go further, I almost forgot. We got a sponsor. And we got a new subscriber
check-in.
John 82. Appreciate you, homie.
John 82.
This nice gear you see me wearing, SLC, is a young Black entrepreneur on the gram, something like clothing. This is their brand. And as you can see, they put out a whole lot of good stuff. Nice attire, ladies and gentlemen. Black Lives Matter. You see these things hugging my sleeves. Right there, my cuts for the sluts I've been working on. And they sent me a hoodie for Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, check them out. Link is in the video description at the very top. Go and order you something. And when you order it, it gets to your house in like 3 days. Check my good people out.
I like that.
That's what we do on this channel. We not only support people who are YouTubers, we do try to support other Black businesses that we believe in. And this stuff is top quality. And we believe in all you guys. So all the people watching us right now, if there's something you want us to help you promote, you want to come on the show, just let us know. So Larry, pick a number 1 through 8. It's a whole lot of topics today. And
1 through 8. Let's go with lucky number 4.
Okay.
You guys thought I was going to say 7, didn't you?
Lucky number 4 is Larry. Muchella, pick a number. Denise, pick a number. John, the new subscriber, pick a number 1 through 8. And of course, Arlene Hicks, you get a number 1 through 8 minus the number 4.
You get a number, and you get a number, and you get a number.
We passing out numbers tonight, ladies and gentlemen, like we running the lottery. Here we go, Larry. Number 4 is.
Uh-oh.
Number 4 is Yo Boy. You want me to show you who Yo Boy is? Number 4 is Yo Boy.
No, that's your man's in them. That's your man's in them.
That is Yo Boy Giuliani. And what is that? What is that leaking from the side of his head, Larry? Better yet, for those of you that don't know, here's the story about crazy ass Giuliani and his conspiracy theory to keep Trump in the White House. Take a look at this, lady. We can't make this stuff up. We can't.
That gets us to today, and today may be remembered when all the craziness is over for one thing, and it's this visual. Rudy Giuliani's hair dye started dripping down his face after an outbreak of flop sweat during a press conference which will only be remembered for conspiracy theories and dark liquid. It was rambling, repugnant, reprehensible, hysterical. And as the man just fired by Trump for protecting the security of our election said on Twitter today, it was the most dangerous 1 hour, 45 minutes of television in American history. Indeed, the dark seepage almost overshadowed what we heard at that press conference with the last lawyers left in America willing to defend the president.
Larry, for a group of, first of all, we just got finished talking about Giuliani because he was in the that movie, that funny movie with Borat.
Yeah.
Where he got caught with his hands in his pants on the bed with his daughter illegally, and he tried to say he was tucking his shirt in. At this point, Larry, what the hell is wrong with Giuliani? Is he dementia? I can't say it's dementia because anybody with dementia ain't putting no beignet in their head. They ain't doing all that. They ain't waking up and the first thing they're thinking about is their outward appearance.
Man,
what the hell is going on with Giuliani? You let me know, and whoever is in New York, Mnuchin and that crew, please talk to me about y'all former mayor. Larry, the floor is yours.
Somebody said that it was that his head was leaking black because his brain took a shit on itself.
Hey, but I can believe that. I can certainly believe that.
But man, I'm telling you, I was like, come on, man, this is ridiculous. This was so bad that Wolf Blitzer, as straight laced as he is, was even clowning. And I was like, man, Giuliani, what is wrong with you? I was like, get it together. But man, that whole thing was just a mess. It's gotten to the point where it's so utterly ridiculous that you would want to tune out just not to give them any sort of more of your time, but because of who they are, they're dangerous. And the number of people they influence, they're dangerous. And it's so shameful. You think about the people of this country, and I'm like, how could you be influenced by that? This dude is literally like one makeover away from being a clown. I mean, his clown behavior is already there. All he needs is the red nose and the makeup. It's crazy. And they have 70-something million people in this country that voted for this man, that voted for Trump, the man that he represents. And I just don't understand it. It's ridiculous.
Well, Larry, it's like this, man. You had 70 some odd million people. And if you saw the numbers, it was 68% white people are voting for grievances. But at the same time, Larry, I've told you, I don't want to hear those hypocrites no more about speaking on this bullshit about duty to the country, integrity, loving thy neighbor. I don't want to hear none of that because you already had 4 years to see how Trump behaves and you see the people he associates himself with. And now you're seeing him spiral out of control, throwing a childlike tantrum, harming the country on his way out. And you see the people that are still surrounding this man, placating him, are the deplorables that Hillary Clinton spoke about. And because you got your little feelings hurt, you put this man in office who said, Larry, this man said he's going to drain the swamp. He got in there and
He is the swamp.
became Swamp Thing himself, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, but you do have people that want to see the government just burn down, and they're willing to burn down the government even if they burn themselves down, which is self-defeating as well. And when I look at this, I just look at someone who's trying to be self-serving to Donald Trump because he's going to have nowhere else to go to stay relevant. And he doesn't care that he's harming the country no more than Donald Trump does. And it's sad. You know, you French hookers that are still sleeping with Giuliani because he pays you well, have some integrity. It ain't enough money in the world. You can go find somebody else that'll pay you that ain't going to drip drop brain shit on you when they down there. Larry, finish us off on him, Larry.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, Giuliani just totally screwed over his entire legacy. He was the mayor during 9/11. People were calling him America's mayor. People had some respect for him. And then he just went totally off on the deep end. If he simply would have just, he ran for president. He started his presidential thing. He lost. He should have simply have just said, I'm going to take this little bit. I'm going to parlay it. I'm going to run for governor or I'm going to run for senator. And he could have had himself a nice legacy. Now he's going to be known for being basically a circus clown, a buffoon, you know, somebody who got bamboozled or was taken advantage of in his old age. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the bar association needs to step in and have a competency test or something to make sure he's still. To make sure he's not suffering from dementia and practicing law when he's not fully, mentally there. I don't know, but it seems like he's just totally off on a deep end, and it's shameful because what could have been a real meaningful legacy for the man is just been totally shot out the water.
Well, that's how it is. When you get in bed with creeps, you become very creepy your damn self. So
that's true.
Moving on, Larry. I'm going to go to number 8. And guess who picked number 8, Larry?
Uh-oh. Mooch?
The Mooch. Yes, the Mooch.
All right.
And the Mooch, I'm telling you, the Mooch, you know we love you. But no more lock and keys. None. 0 lock and keys. Or I will be taking the East Coast drive in the Tesla with the baby. We're going to go to Larry. We're going to go to Larry's house first. We're going to stop by and holler at my man Tim around that area. Then we driving straight to New York. And the roads should be nice and free right now. So no more lock and keys, Moochella. Now, number 8 is the story Larry sent me, ladies and gentlemen. And this one's pretty sad. Your boy, Bobby Brown, his son, was found Wednesday in, what's that, Eno? How do you pronounce that? Okay. Encino, around 2 p.m. Wednesday, was found dead. Suspects said by the police. Larry, tell me about this story that you found, man. This is pretty sad.
Honestly, man, I don't know much about it. I was just kind of like, man, I saw that and I just felt bad. I was like, Bobby Brown just keeps losing his kids. He's lost his wife. He's lost 2 of his kids. I mean, this brother has really had a hard time he just keeps losing loved ones. It's really pretty sad, you know. Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine what dude's going through, because I mean that's a lot of people close to you to lose in a relatively short period of time. You know, especially 2 kids. Parents, I don't think a parent should ever have to outlive their kids.
Yeah,
you know,
most parents will tell you, man, their worst fear is that they have to bury their kids and not the reverse. A lot of parents, I mean, I know I feel like that now. And I'm sure for him, can you imagine the things he's battling mentally, Larry? You know, he had his demons with drugs and alcohol. He had his issues with Whitney, and now he's lost 2 children. I can only imagine the mental fight this brother's having to go through, losing his son. I wish him the best. I wish him that the right people are around him to try to comfort him, to try to help him through this time. And I'll say this to him and a lot of us. I was going to say, I'll say that to him and a lot of people in the minority community. It is nothing wrong with going to speak to a counselor. Don't
Yeah.
let nobody tell you that there's something wrong with you for speaking to a counselor. There's something wrong with them if they don't want you to get professional help that might not involve a medical intervention. Sometimes all it takes is speaking to the right person who has your interest at the forefront that can guide you to making the best decision. And I hope that's what Bobby Brown has, because, man, I think he really needs it, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's sad, man. It really is. It's sad. I hope he's doing okay and gets through it. You know, I mean, I know he's not okay. No one's. I shouldn't even say that. I know he's not okay. No one's going to be okay after losing one of their children. I just hope that he's able to keep it together and doesn't go down a dark place. So, you know.
Oh man, Tim Windsor's had to bury his child 5 years ago. Tim, man, I'm so sorry about that, brother. Tim, man,
that is sad, man. Yeah,
I commend you, Tim, because everybody who's on this thread knows Tim, and even if you've never seen Tim before in your life, you know that this man has some level of profoundness that you would want to sit down with him and talk to him. He shows everybody love. He's supportive of everybody. He sends super chats. He likes my videos. He likes others' videos. And he's always encouraging everyone. And that's what I want to see happen to Bobby Brown. That he can get around the right people, stay encouraged, and try to go beyond that. So, Tim, I shout you out, too, for being strong through all that, brother. Bless you, my brother.
Yeah.
Next one, Larry. Arlene Hicks picked number 7, Larry. And this is another wacko. I don't know how we got a week of wackos. My God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, because the president is acting like a teenager, and I was going to say teenage girl, but I don't want nobody to be mad with me. But he's acting like a teenager, ladies and gentlemen. And to appease him, somebody said that we should name the vaccine for coronavirus after Trump. Take a listen to this bull job. Yeah, man.
An idea, when with the world so divided and everybody, telling him he's got to give up and time to leave and time to transition and all the rest of it. Why not name the vaccine the Trump? Make it like, have you gotten your Trump yet? No, it would be a nice gesture to him. And years from now, it would become just a kind of a generic name. Have you got your Trump yet? Oh, yeah, I got my Trump. I'm fine. I wish we could honor him in that way, because he is definitely the prime architect of this Operation Warp Speed. And but for him, we'd still be waiting, into the grim winter for these amazing, miraculous medical breakthroughs.
So oh God, it's so, look, the reason I chose him is because it's so fawning and pathetic. Name it the Trump. It's so insane. But then everything he said after that, I would argue, is even worse. But first, the giving the participation trophy for the snowflake Trump, who feels like he's not gonna get credit. So let's give him the credit.
I gotta take a sip, Larry. I got hold up, my bro. Hold up, man. Boy, I really want to let out some very bad words, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm gonna just keep this thing kosher. Why are we trying to give someone credit for something he does not deserve credit for? He doesn't even want to recognize the virus. First and foremost, he didn't want to recognize the virus. Let's just put that on. He still doesn't.
He's up there saying that the pandemic's over. He's saying that there's nothing going on. There's not. No, he's the last person that they should be naming anything after, period. If anything, I'll tell you what they should change if they want to change the name of something. They should call this the Trump virus. That's what they should call it. Instead of calling it the coronavirus, call it the Trump virus. If you want to call it that, and then maybe they can call the vaccine, I don't know. How about the name of the young black woman that works over there that's been spearheading the whole Operation Warp Speed? How about naming it after her?
Larry, people should feel insulted. That the coronavirus should feel insulted that you're going to name the vaccine after this dead ass president who doesn't want to leave the office now and is just behaving in political theater as he's on his way out. I mean, just purity asinine. You want to demotivate the majority of black women from not messing around with that virus? I mean, the vaccine, you name that shit Trump. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on, man.
Like, see, he wants something named after him because what happened is because of Obamacare. He's upset. Here's the thing. Obama never called it Obamacare. Nope. Obama called it the ACA, which is what it was, you know. And then the Republicans tried to brand it Obamacare because they thought, oh, this is going to have such a negative connotation to it. People won't like it if we call it Obamacare. But what happened was they named it Obamacare and people loved it. They thought, this is absolutely fantastic. We love Obama. The people on the left, they thought, oh, if we call it Obamacare, it'll upset everybody. People on the left loved it. Right. Let's call it Obamacare. That's perfect.
I mean, Larry, they was out in the street making sweet love to the name Obamacare, and they did try to use that as a pejorative against him.
Didn't work.
Only problem is, you naming this thing the Trump vaccine, it is going to really make this thing go the other way. Nobody's going to take it. But considering that his idiots, Larry, that don't want to wear masks now, they might take it if you name it after him. Should we give any credence to that?
No, they're not going to call it because, first of all, Fox News and them don't have enough sway by themselves to make that thing happen. And here's the other thing. We're talking about an actual product from a company. These companies are going to brand their products in such a way that they get maximum sales. They're not going to take the risk on naming it after any politician. They're going to call it something. They're going to call either it's just going to be the coronavirus vaccine, or it's going to be some long string of Latin words that no one can understand, no one can pronounce except for 7th graders who are actually studying Latin right now, or Latin professors. Everybody else is going to be like, just give me the coronavirus vaccine, because it's not going to have some politician name.
And and when you need the maximum amount of people to take this thing, you can't let some unpopular, I can't even say Trump's really unpopular when 70 million people voted for him. I guess the best thing I could say is you can't let a cult leader have his name on something that is going to deter the sales, as Larry said, but more importantly, deter people from
Fauci fix.
You could, but they're not going to call it that either. Just leave it alone. That was one of the dumbest ideas I've heard this whole week, to try to placate someone who's damn near 80 years old, acting like a baby. Really, just give the man a pacifier called the vaccine and fuck him. Moving right along.
Yeah.
All right. Spill the tea. TV pick number 2, Larry, and number 2. Man, we just can't get away from the politics today, Larry. Oh my God, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this wonderful shirt you see me wearing that says, let me see, SLC is from Something Light on Instagram and the website. They look like this, my good people. This is what they look like. Forget that lock that Larry's talking about. I want you guys to go show these people some love. This is their brand. This is their company. They sent me this wonderful, wonderful shirt that's hugging the cuts, just hugging. I can make my chest muscles move in this thing. That's the website. Link is in the video description. Beautiful hoodie they sent from my folk Larry. Go get you guys one.
I'm looking forward to that, man. You know how I love my hoodies.
I like them too. I started to give you the shirt and keep the hoodie. But you know, I'm a man of my word most of the time anyway. You know, I let LP on it or something to make up an excuse why I can't mail it. I don't know. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, you tune into this channel for be entertained and to learn something. And we have to talk about this douchebag right here. This is the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin. He done something today that could have rattled the stock market. It could have broken some eggs, and ladies and gentlemen, it still just might. Right now, he's clashing with the head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, because all the stimulus money that they've got sitting out there and all the money that the Fed is using to buy up assets to keep the economy afloat, Steve Mnuchin and Donald Trump has said, we're cutting that shit off as of December 30th. Now, Larry, I was watching the Business Channel today, and they was doing everything they can to tiptoe around the fact that they think that this thing is political.
Yeah. It's just terrible.
Larry,
it really pisses me off.
Hold on a second. How else can you position this other than political when you still have the majority of small businesses, ladies and gentlemen, are businesses that employ under 500 people that are shutting down? I think the statistic was 5 a day in America are shutting down because they can't get their hands on these assets. And this is low interest money that's sitting out there that's supporting the markets. And they're taking it away as of December. So now you're going to have a gap from December to like what? Joe Biden's inaugurated January the 23rd or something like that. There's going to be a
20th.
gap, 20th, where people aren't going to be able to get those funds. And that could be the kibosh on those businesses. Speak on it, Larry. Why are the American people not upset about this more, especially these, like I said, these honorary MFers who claim to love the country and love small business, and I wave my flag, and I love free market capital, all that bull job y'all been saying for years that we have learned is just bull job under the President Trump administration. Speak on it, Larry.
I mean, honestly, I think most of the general public is not upset about it because they just don't know and understand what it is and what it does, what these programs are and what they do. They just don't get it. They don't understand the effect that it's having on them. Like if the Fed basically had said, we're just going to, if they truly believe, because all these people are up there talking about they're free market capitalists. They're all full of crap because there's no free market capitalist in this country. And if they really truly believed in free market capitalism, they would, this country, first of all, the vast majority of these people in this country would be broke. We would be in a depression far worse than the depression was back in the day. And all these rich robber barons and everybody else, they would probably be dead right now because our country would be in such bad shape that people would have rolled up on the Bill Gates and the Jeff Bezos and the Warren Buffett. They would have just rolled up on them and taken what they had because people would have been in the streets hungry and starving because true capitalism, true free market capitalism does not work. You need regulations, you need restrictions, you need balance. Otherwise, the system does not work. And all he's doing by cutting these programs is basically lighting a big ass dumpster fire right before Biden gets in there. It's basically just more of the same of what the Trump administration is doing. They're simply saying, we're going to start as many fires as we can before you take office so that your first 100 days is doing nothing but putting out fires.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Obama and them, they left the country in such good shape. Forget about having to put out fires. We were able to make it through 4 years of complete ineptitude from Donald Trump, and our country is still standing because Obama and his administration left the country in such good shape. And now, you know, Trump and Mnuchin and all of his cronies are doing the exact opposite. They're trying to do everything they can to drive this country into the ground before Biden takes the reins so that they can sit up there and say, see, Biden doesn't know what he's doing. The Democrats can't handle this. And this is what happens if they drive this country into the ground. If the Democrats don't win those 2 seats in Georgia, we're going to have congressional gridlock, which means nothing's going to get done. And whatever the country's at, the status quo the country's at when Biden takes off, it's going to be very difficult to move it forward because McConnell's going to lock everything up in the Senate. And so that's what they're doing. They don't care about the American people.
Nope.
The Republicans are not patriots. And I keep saying, people don't believe me. The Republicans are Republicans. They are not American patriots. They are not. And if you just look at their behavior, if you look at their policies, if you look at what they think and how they act and how they treat the American people, you cannot make the argument that they are patriots. They are not.
It's do as I say, not as I do.
All the Republicans are, they are a party of people who care about owning guns and a party of people who are racist. That's it. They want to be able to own guns, and they want to feel the safety and security of being openly racist, and that's it. Because here's the thing. If you're a patriot, why are you so they're always, oh, we don't like globalism. We don't want to go out into the world. We want to be more isolationist. But then they turn around talking about we want a second civil war. So you don't want to go out and fight the evil abroad, but instead you want to stay here and fight the good people in your own backyard. Now, how is that patriotism? That to me is treasonous. That is anti-patriotism. You don't want to go out and fight the evil abroad. Instead, you want to come home and fight the people that live next door to you. That's not patriotism, but that's what the Republicans want.
And from a market-based standpoint, ladies and gentlemen, all that money that was there was a pretty big safety net. With interest rates being as low as they possibly can be right now, a lot of people was depending upon that money, and we'll see how it plays in the market. I hope you folks that voted for Trump, I hope enough of you guys are educated, which I doubt, to understand that what he is doing is tearing down the walls, the fabric of this country as he's going out the door. But I'm sure some of y'all voted for that kind of anarchy and chaos, but you dumbasses don't understand how that's going to wind up affecting you too. But you'll see, and we're going to move right along, Larry.
You know what's funny is that when you have a country that has been so stable for so long, you have people that think, oh, let's have some anarchy. Let's get some real change. Let's tear everything down. Not realizing that if you really want to see how a country is when there's real chaos, when there's real anarchy, when the walls are torn down, when the regulations are set aside, if you want to see a country that looks like that, just drive down south. Go to Mexico and see what that looks like when the government doesn't have full control over its own country. When you have drug lords and cartels running entire swaths of the country, when you have drug cartels that are controlling entire brigades of their military and controlling entire police departments, go over to Europe and Eastern Europe when you see how terrible when you have these fascist people with their fake elections, people like Putin, who basically has all of his opposition either in jailed or they poison them. They poison them with polonium and everything else. See how that looks when you go to Asia and you see the people up there with their communism, or go to Africa and see how it is when they have these dictators out there that just do the same thing. They just refuse to leave office and jail their opposition or kill their opposition. I mean, people think that I think part of the problem is that people in America oftentimes, and this doesn't apply to everybody, but there's a lot of people in America that don't ever look outside the walls of this country. They don't look beyond the borders. They don't read or watch or listen to international news. They don't travel internationally unless they're going to some fancy island in the Caribbean or something to go lay on the beach and drink a sweet drink of some sort. They don't ever go out and go elsewhere and see anything to understand what it looks like when you take the guardrails off. And I mean, literally, you could go to parts of this country and drive on the freeway where there are guardrails. You go to other countries, they don't even have the infrastructure to have guardrails. If you fall off a cliff, you are just dead on the bottom of a cliff.
I mean, Larry, you got to think about, we still live in a country where there's a couple of towns in West Virginia that have a population of 3,000 plus, but they only got 2 last names. And that ought to tell you something. And I'm going to move on beyond that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, ladies and gentlemen, something like clothing on Instagram. Be sure to check my people out. They gave me this nice shirt that y'all can see is hugging the traps. You know what I'm saying? Hugging the sleeve. Cuts for the sluts. And they sent a hoodie for Larry.
Hey, and you can't use that word anymore, remember?
Damn, that's right. I can't.
You have baby L now. You can't use that word.
Yeah, and I don't want no one to get caught up thinking that things are available. So it's hugging.
We're gonna have to create a cuss jar for you. You might have to super chat yourself as a cuss jar.
Folks, link is in the video description. Check my folk out as me and Larry continuously support small business as best we can. Larry, we got number 5. Number 5 is my folk DeAndre Lucas. And in number 5, guess what we're covering?
Number 5 is going to be talking about Donald Trump Jr. testing positive for coronavirus.
Man, no, I don't even care about that. As a matter of fact, some of y'all are going to be mad that I'm about to say this, but some people like him need to start kicking the bucket so that we can get people to start taking this shit seriously. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it 100. All y'all that's out there wearing your mask, social distancing, you get out there, you see these idiots without a mask, taking their children out there, mind you, at that, ain't doing none of the things you're practicing. And each and every day, the number of deaths and hospitalizations keep going up, and their behavior has a greater effect on the nation than your good behavior. We're not going to get change, people, until these idiots that are not heeding the warnings start kicking the bucket, and it needs to be somebody big like him. And I'm sorry, just what it is, what it is. But Larry, DeAndre Lucas picked number 5, and number 5 is this chick right here.
Woo!
Oh Lord,
I like it.
So we've already had a breaking news report Wednesday that this is going to come out on HBO Max and some theaters in America on Christmas. Well, guess what, Larry? It's going to hit China in theaters on December 18th. And guess
I heard that. I did hear that.
And
which
guess
means
what?
It'll be on bootleg later that day. Actually, it'll be on bootleg when we wake up on the 18th because China is 12 hours ahead.
Guess why it's going to be in theaters in China nationwide?
Why?
Because they got a grip on their coronavirus, Larry. They had it where if you got caught coming outside in the midst of wave 1, your ass got a fine for not wearing that mask. And now, Larry, they've got their infection rates down to something like 10 per city. Can you believe that? 10 per city is what they've got their infection rate down. So they basically living it up, but they still wearing a mask. They haven't stopped wearing a mask because it ain't no vaccine. But she's going to China early. And I just want to know, Larry, how do you feel about it going to China before it hits America? How does that make you feel?
I mean, I'm not really salty about it. I mean, I get it because ultimately they have to put the movie where they think they can make the most money. And it's not going to hit the theaters, and it's not going to hit the theaters in the US. It's going to hit the theaters in China. So they're sending it to China. I mean, I think it's sort of risky. I honestly think it should just come out everywhere at the same time, because if you don't, I mean, it's going to hit bootleg. I tell you right now, if that movie hits the theaters in China on the 18th or any other international markets, I think on the 16th, it's going to be by the time you wake up in the morning, it's going to be on BitTorrent. And people are going to download it and they're going to watch it, which is going to hurt the US market for people that were thinking, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get it. I'm going to go ahead and get HBO Max so I can watch it." It's going to hurt it if a week before they've already seen it because they downloaded the bootleg.
Wait a minute. Here's some breaking news. Larry, my folk Tressa C watches Grey's Anatomy, and she's breaking news. Meredith Grey is dying from coronavirus. What?
Damn.
There ain't no way.
Show, like Meredith Grey or the actor?
Man, she's talking about Meredith Grey. There is no way they're going to let Meredith Grey leave that show unless Ellen Pompeo herself has said she's ready to just be full-fledged producing.
Unless they get rid of that. The only way I can see that happening is if they do that, if she dies of it, and then they rename the hospital, Grey's General or something. That way they can keep the name in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that means that show's ending. If they get rid of the title character, that show's ending.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and here's another one that I didn't bring up as a story topic, but we include y'all's breaking news as the show goes on. My folks Sinbad had a stroke the other day, man. We wishing him well. If y'all follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you've seen a picture me and my wife took 2 years ago with Sinbad when he came to do a comedy show. Real good brother. He took some time with me and my wife just to talk to us. We told him about how we felt about his different world. Matter of fact, my wife, when I saw him, I was like, Crystal, I'm gonna go say something to him. Just like, no, don't go over there. Don't. I was like, girl, it's me. It's Lamar Tyson. What? And when I got over there, dude was so gracious. Now he did have a short joke. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
He's tall too.
He's tall, but you know I had me a high yellow joke ready to go back and forth. I was like, bro, you want to do this? You can pull me on the stage with you. We can do this all night. So, but dude, he's a good brother. He's funny. He doesn't cuss in his shows. Yeah. And what he does is really, really funny to be PG. So I want to send some I want to uplift this brother and hope he does well and he can make a comeback. Very, very underrated comedian. And Larry, having said that, we'll move on to number 3, which was.
Can I mention something to you about China since you were talking about it?
Yeah, go for it.
So I know that you were talking about that China does the whole thing where they were, people were getting fined if they came out of their house during the first phase and all that. Yep. People need to understand that China does a whole lot more than that too. They have a system in place that for most people here would feel is extremely oppressive. I mean, they have cameras everywhere in that country where they do facial recognition. And so what they were doing is if you were outside and you didn't have a mask on, they were able to see your face, recognize who you are, and they had billboards, electronic billboards, and they were instantaneously able to put your face and your name up there and say so-and-so is not wearing a mask, and they would shame you publicly right there. And on top of that, China has a social credit score. So not only do you have to worry about your regular credit score, if you have a failing social credit score, if you get caught too many times doing stuff like not wearing a face mask or jaywalking or throwing trash on the street and not putting it in a trash can, you will be limited on the things you can do. Like you won't be able to use public transportation. You won't be able to invest in the stock market. You won't be able to go to a movie theater. There are certain things that they will limit you doing if you have a low social credit score. And that is one of the ways that they're able to incentivize people to wear their mask and other things. But in this case, wear their mask. So
mask up.
Mask up.
Number 3 goes to John, new subscriber. And take a wild guess at what number 3 is, Larry.
Number 3 is going to have to do with locks and keys, baby. It's going to have to do with locks and keys.
Here we go. No, nothing. Has nothing to do with that.
Number 3, I'll take a second guess. Number 3 is going to talk about we all need to make sure that we are invested in the market so that when Killmonger, the righteous ruler of Wakanda, comes out here and delivers the weapon so that we can all shuck off our oppressors and liberate ourselves, that we will be in a financial position to take advantage of our newfound freedom because Killmonger is the true and righteous ruler of Wakanda. Wakanda forever.
No, but in his heyday, this brother probably could have ran for office and won. I'm talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. I saw it.
Wrong?
I saw it. Larry, did you see it?
I did. It was actually entertaining.
It was entertaining, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about it. Let me give you a quick little sneak peek at probably what was the highlight of the entire thing. And me and Larry predicted that on this show too.
Unbelievable and wonderful it feels that I'm overwhelmed.
I don't want to be that guy, I go out in the world and I, talk about understanding and human relationships and then have somebody that I haven't spoken to in 27 years.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was pretty deep. And when you go back and watch this, if you was a real fan of the show, well, not even a real fan, you could have been a small fan of the show. Yeah. The insight that they give you about how close-knit that family was is impeccable. They talk a lot about the different things they did to get ready for a show, and they talk about the heart and soul of the show, which was Uncle Phil. And I did some research on Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was damn near as philanthropic as Denzel Washington is. He let a young actor stay with him. He gave money to young actors. Now, he didn't have the clout Denzel had, but in his realm, he was helping a lot of these young brothers come up. So shouts out to him, rest in peace. Everybody felt like he was the glue that held them together. He really taught Will how to be an actor. And then they really focused in also on the Will Smith versus Mrs. Hubert issue. I will give Will credit for one thing. She laid out a lot of her grievances on him. He didn't know at the time she was pregnant. He didn't know she was in an abusive relationship. He didn't know that that abusive husband also lost his job. And Will's claim he didn't know that she was pushed into a corner where she couldn't go act outside of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And when she was saying these things to him, she wasn't saying it in a timid voice. She was saying it with a little bit of authority. And Will sat there and took it all. And what I gathered from their conversation, Will tried his best to couch it in that he was young, but he never came out and said that he was responsible for what happened. And I think his silence basically told the story and the manner in which he apologized. And so that made for a good moment when they apologized, they came together, and this was the first time that the two Aunt Vivs ever met each other. So all that made for intrigue. It made the story feel better. But as soon as they had that moment, oh, they got rid of the dark-skinned Aunt Viv. They ushered her ass right off the stage. We ain't see her no more. And the funniest thing about this whole thing, everybody looked like they aged beautifully, Larry. Let's take a look at this cast. Take a look at this cast. Yeah. Everybody aged beautifully except for two people, and one of them's not in this screen. Larry already know which one on the screen I'm talking about, which is
you talking about Mallory?
I'm talking about I'm talking about light-skinned Aunt Viv. She did not grade. She didn't age.
Light-skinned Aunt Viv looks much older, and Karen Parsons aged a bit too.
But dark-skinned Aunt Viv, she okay. But
yeah, she looks good.
Yeah, but the one who took the cake, ladies and gentlemen, the one that really looked like he aged 3 times than the other ones. And this must be something with young Hollywood kids. Me and my wife oftentimes see these Hollywood kids. They're so cute when they're little, and then they grow the fuck up to be these weirdos. Think Macaulay Culkin, think Little Richie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is baby Nicky, and he looked old as hell. He looked older. All the age that everybody else skipped, it looked like baby Nicky got it. But Larry, give me your estimation of this reunion.
I thought it was entertaining. I'll tell you, I didn't hear as much from everyone else as I wanted to. I really felt like it didn't feel, I know it's gonna sound messed up for some people, but it didn't feel as much as a true reunion as it was sort of like Will Smith inviting everybody back. Because it felt like it was very much centered on him and not so much the cast as a whole. And even though he kept talking about how it felt like a family, and people say it felt like a family, and when you show the scenes behind the scene, it did look like that's how it felt to them, but the reunion just didn't feel like that. It felt like very much like, okay, here's Will Smith. He blew up to be a huge star. He's one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and now he's inviting all of us back here as like some whatever. And
I got more of that feel from Miss Hubert, because she basically put that on Front Street. If you know what, Larry, honestly, you could have done this reunion with just Will and her, because all the energy in this whole thing was basically around those two. To be honest with you, I didn't get anything from the old Aunt Viv. I got a little something from Ashley. I didn't get a lot from Karen Parsons. I didn't get a lot from Jazzy Jeff. I didn't get nothing from the butler. I mean, I don't even know why
he barely said anything, and they didn't really talk much about him. Right. And
I don't even know why they invited him.
Jeffrey, I think Jeffrey's part, what they should have talked more about, because I used to really enjoy his role in there.
He was funny. He was
He
funny.
was funny, and he was one of those classically trained actors that really was. He was the epitome of a straight man. He was when it comes to comedy, you always have to have the really funny dude that's very physical and active, and then you have the straight man, and he was a great straight man, and they just didn't really do enough to highlight that. And I don't know. I mean, I guess, what's his name? Alfonso Rivera was a straight man too, but he was also he wasn't always a straight man because he was also very much a physical actor in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I barely remembered him. I mean, let me be honest with you. I just barely, I know he was on the show. He was there. I feel like when he came on, it was sort of like one of those things where they throw a new character in there because they're trying to keep it fresh. So, people will watch it, but it didn't feel, I guess I was like, whatever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the two most iconic events of the show, they did play it. You had when Janet Hubert's character, dark-skinned Aunt Viv, went in there and did the dance. Like, they still, to this day, white girls be looking at her like, damn. Then she snapped the finger in their face, Larry. And the other iconic scene was when Will Smith supposed to meet up with his daddy, and his daddy stood him up and left, and he had to go hug his real daddy, which was Uncle Phil. Two of the most iconic scenes ever on that show, and that made me feel nostalgic about that. And so I feel like Uncle Phil, his presence was missing from this whole thing as well. And the reason his presence was missing is because he was a gargantuan individual physically and spiritually for the show.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, he's he was a big dude and he died. And I think a large part of why he died was because he was a large man.
Well, he wound up losing weight, Larry. He had the surgery, for the lap band surgery, and lost like 120 pounds. So he didn't die heavy.
Okay, well, that's good. He still had a heart problem as a consequence of all that weight. And this is something I say often, and I know that, and I'm gonna keep saying this, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear it, but Black folks, we need to not be morbidly obese. I mean, that's just what it is. I know I deal with weight at a time. I try and keep my weight, manageable. I know a lot of us deal with weight. I know you've had your struggles with weight, but the fact of the matter is that you hear about these white folks out there saying, "Oh, this woman is so beautiful. Look at her. She's full figured. You should stop telling her to lose weight. You should stop body shaming her, blah, blah, blah." You don't hear white women say that about white women. You hear white women say that about Black women, and you hear people say that, to some respect, about Black men. But they don't say that on the other side with them because they know that life is not healthy. They know when you weigh 300 pounds and you're 5'10" or 6'1", that is not healthy. I don't care if you're 6'7". Someone like Shaq, who's a big dude, who's 7 foot tall, when he comes in weighing 450 pounds, it's not healthy. And it will cause you to have all kinds of other issues. You'll have heart problems. You'll have joint problems. You'll have hip problems. You will have problems that will prevent you from living a full, healthy life. And often people die early. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe all this stuff. Black women, if you're out there, don't listen to the people up there talking about, "Oh, you look so good when you're thick." No, lose weight. Thick girls die early. That's what it is. So, but I do think that Uncle Phil's presence was missing. They talked about him a lot. They all spoke about him with great reverence, and his presence was missed. I do think the most entertaining part was when he spoke with the original OG Aunt Viv, and she still, that whole scene, it still felt like there was a quite a bit of rawness there. Like the tension was still palpable. Like you could feel it. Like there was like they were being polite. They were trying to get over it. But it was still very much, the feelings were very raw in there. I'll tell you what I would like to see. After all that time that she really wasn't able to act and do much, I would really love to see Will Smith make a movie and cast her to put her as one of the as the female lead in that movie, whatever it is. Make an action movie where make a comedy action movie where he has to go and I don't know, maybe he's some crazy hitman or something and people are after him, and the next thing you know, they're after his mom. Or maybe he's a hitman and someone contracts him to kill somebody. It turns out it's his mom. So now he has to take him and his mom on the run and get rid of all the people out there trying to kill her and him because he did turn down the job. Do something where you can actually try and make things right.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because in essence, it does feel like the reason she got blackballed in Hollywood was because of him. And it would be great with all his connections that he makes something happen for her. Maybe she could find some peace and ride out the rest of her career on a good note. But check it out, ladies and gentlemen, HBO Max. It's worth your time.
She can't act.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of those things. She can't act.
She can act, she can dance, she can do ballet. I mean, she is just as tough as Claire Huxtable, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be fooled. She is just as tough as Claire Huxtable. She just didn't have as many years to show all that she can do. Last subject, Larry, is about women. The very last one. Here we go. It's the women of power, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen one of these women in a couple episodes. We've pretty much talked about all these women, especially the one down in the very left corner who's an established, esteemed. Oh, here we go. Here we go with this mess. But what we want to know, ladies and gentlemen,
hold your locks up.
No,
everybody get your locks up.
Ignore him. This dude is nuts. What we want to know on this list of women, ladies and gentlemen, which one of these women is going to die first? I think the two in the middle, either Riley or the investigator that works with Meth McClain. We haven't seen her in a hot minute. She's sleeping with Meth McCain, and Meth McCain is married to someone they haven't revealed to us yet. So if you had to pick between the investigator and Riley, Larry, which one going to kick the bucket first?
I'm thinking Riley, maybe, because Riley, there's no reason to kill the investigator that I can see.
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, maybe they'll give us one, but
I just gave you a reason. She's sleeping with a married man.
Yeah, but is he married? Is he though?
Yeah, he married. He had a ring on his finger when he was in the bed doing her.
We don't know what's going on with it. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe he's married for real. Maybe he's married in on paper only. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, if it's gonna be, it would be whack if they killed her off because it turned out to be some crazy, jilted wife or something. Because that doesn't play into the story at all.
No.
But I think with Riley's done some dirt. She's put herself in a position that they may have to do that. Braden may have to do a Tommy on her. He may have to holly her.
I did a full video that's what this setup was looking like. That's exactly what the setup was looking like. And she did an interview, Riley. And guess what was one of the main driving forces as to why she got this audition, Larry? Take a wild guess.
I don't know.
Her hair, her pink colored hair. Her pink colored hair helped her get this job. I mean, it works for her character for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes peacocking works.
Yeah, hey man, it definitely works. So if we're gonna all say that we think Riley gonna kick the bucket first, that only leaves one other powerful woman on the show, and that's this thing right here. Predictions of what's gonna happen when Tasha get up out of prison, Larry. Is she gonna
run stuff? She's gonna run ish.
Who's she gonna run? She gonna run the Tejada family?
No, she's gonna drive the Tejadas. She's gonna drive the Tejadas crazy. She's gonna make Mary J just lose her mind.
Yeah,
because she's gonna be running stuff. She's gonna come out, and once she's out, she's gonna have all kinds of connects. The government's gonna be afraid to go after her again because they're gonna be like, "Yo, she's gonna start telling Sachs, you come at me again, I'm gonna start slapping you with all kinds of harassment lawsuits and everything else." And they're gonna leave her alone. They're gonna do the same thing like they did with Ghost. They're gonna say, if you come for him again, you better have everything in line. You can't just go for him just because you think he's guilty of something. You have to have everything lined up because we already came for him once. We shot our shot, we missed, and now anything else we do is going to look like we're harassing him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're just gonna have to. I think they're just gonna have to go ahead and just suck it up and let her be out there doing her thing. But I think Tasha's gonna drive. What's her name?
Oh my
crazy.
God! But Buzz, I'm about to cry. You see, Buzz said Tasha can run to me. I do. My folk, Mike Willie says, I think Tommy kills her in the final episode. I'm not gonna say her name. Says Sack's niece is gonna die, and I'm not gonna say her name because she want to throw up locks and keys and stuff. Chris P. Notori is beautiful. Her pink colored wrap. I'm not gonna say her name. The pink hair. Yes, she said that's what helped her get the job.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Alex, Mary J. Cause I won't change my mind just for doing just fine. Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do this weekend, be easy. Don't forget to go check out my people, Something Like Clothing on Instagram. Link is in the video description. They are a nice, wonderful company. They're growing. And you know me and Larry's about helping folks make them gains on the tube. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you this enough. That website down there, gasenate.com. Go make a donation. $1 works. Anything works. If we want this country to truly and really heal, Joe Biden has got to have that Senate with them so that appropriations can be made and go where they need to go to get to the people that didn't get funded the first time. The people on the bottom right now are suffering. That's why the Republicans are so quick to pull the parachute on the economy, because their constituents that they serve that pay them already got paid.
The rich part of it, the people they care about, the constituents they care about, all the rest of those dummies out there that are too poor to be Republicans but still are, they haven't been taken care of. They're struggling and suffering.
Right. And the only way that they enjoy things Democrat pushes laws is Democrats have got to force the law. They didn't want Obamacare, and now you go to Kentucky, every other redneck using it thinking it's Kentucky Care, but it's really the ACA. So it's like feeding children. You can't give them their medicine unless you crush it up and put it in applesauce. And that's what we're going to have to do with these GA votes. I mean, this GA Senate, ladies and gentlemen. Crush it up, make it applesauce. And as Teresa is saying, for me, the most important thing for me, as well as getting the coronavirus fixed, that's important too. But Joe Biden and that Supreme Court is extremely important, because we're dealing with a situation right now where the Supreme Court is completely swayed to the right, and then all the superior courts have been swayed to the right because Mitch McConnell blocked Barack Obama's nomination, not just for the Supreme Court, but also for superior courts from Barack Obama's third year in office all the way till he was done. And then you get Trump, and he helped Trump put in all these judges that he's still putting in there from the Federalist Society to this day. So, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden has to have that Senate. I'm calling it right now on my channel, because usually when I call something, they seem to come true. So I'm saying we're going to get that Senate. We're going to balance the levers of this country back to normal. We're going to be able to turn that spigot on the funding so all the damage that has been done, we can get done. Larry, the last word is yours, then we out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say, I know I've been telling everybody to mask up. I'm still telling people to mask up, but I'll be honest with you, at this point, I feel like I'm telling my people out there that already wear masks. If you can find N95s, buy them and wear them. I know that's not always popular. A lot of people are saying save them for healthcare workers, but if you can buy N95 mask, if you can buy a respirator mask, if you can buy, some sort of real protective mask, buy it and wear it, because the fact of the matter is there's a whole lot of idiots out there that don't care about your life or anybody's life, not even their own life. You have nurses up there on TV talking about they're up there with people doing their dying breaths in the hospital angry talking about this can't be happening to me. Coronavirus isn't real while they're dying from it. And so there's people out there that refuse to wear a mask, and they refuse to protect their neighbors. They refuse to protect themselves. They are as anti-American as can be. Be a patriot, wear a mask, but wear a mask that's going to protect you. So I'm at this point, I have to tell people, wear a mask, but if you can get your hands on an N95, get one and wear one. Protect yourself, because other people will not. All these Republicans, all these anti-maskers, they don't care about their fellow Americans, and they're not going to help protect you. So you have to do it on your own. So if you can find an N95, wear it and protect yourself.
Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Having said that, I want you guys to mask up. I want you guys to donate to Georgia, and I want you guys to be safe. And we will be right back here Monday night at 9 to terrorize you guys with some more trending topics. Until that next sexy as hell video, we'll see you.
Peace.